Your dog wags its tail and you think, "Aw, he's happy to see me." But look again. Because the direction that tail is swinging, left or right, is telling you something your dog can't say out loud, and most people read it completely wrong. Here's why this matters to you. Every single day your dog is broadcasting its real feelings: fear, joy, suspicion, and it's all hiding in plain sight right there behind them. You've just never been taught how to read it. Scientists actually studied this. They strapped dogs into harnesses, showed them different things, their owner, a stranger, a big dominant dog, and filmed every wag. And what they found flips everything you thought you knew about that happy little tail. Quick taste of it. When your dog sees you walk through the door, the wag pulls harder to the right side of its body. That's not random. That's your dog's brain leaking out through its tail. But the left side? That's a whole different story, and we'll get there. Because once you know what left versus right actually means, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Ready? So let's start with the thing nobody tells you. A wagging tail does not automatically mean a happy dog. I know, that feels wrong. You've believed it your whole life. But think about it. You've probably seen a dog wagging right before it snapped at someone. That tail was going a mile a minute, and it still wasn't friendly. A wag isn't, "I'm happy." A wag is, "I'm feeling something strong." What that something is depends on which way it leans. Here's the science part, but I'll keep it simple. A dog's brain, just like yours, has two halves, and those two halves control opposite sides of the body. The left half of the brain handles the good stuff: approach, comfort, come closer. And the left brain controls the right side of the body. So when your dog feels warm, safe, drawn toward something, the tail swings right. And this is the part that hit me the first time I heard it. Researchers found that dogs wagged strongest to the right when they saw their owner, their person, you. So the next time your dog greets you and that tail is whipping to the right, that's not just excitement, that's affection, coming straight from the emotional wiring of its brain. It's basically a love letter written in tail. If this is already changing how you see your dog, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps me get this in front of more dog people. Okay, back to it. Now flip it. Because if the right side means come closer, you can probably guess what the left side means. But it's stranger than you think. The right half of the brain handles the heavy emotions: fear, withdrawal, get me out of here. And that half controls the left side of the body. So when a dog's tail pulls to the left, that's a dog feeling uneasy, nervous, wanting to back away. Here's where it gets wild. In that same study, when the dog saw an unfamiliar, dominant-looking dog, a potential threat, their tails swung to the left. Every time. They didn't growl. They didn't bark. Their tail quietly whispered, "I don't like this." But here's the question that should be forming in your head right now. If your dog is leaking its feelings out the left side of its body, can other dogs actually read it? Because a signal only matters if someone's receiving it. And for years, people assumed dogs had no idea about any of this, just a tail flopping around. They were wrong. So the scientists ran a second experiment, and this one is honestly kind of beautiful. They showed dogs videos of other dogs wagging. Sometimes the tail leaned right, sometimes left, and they watched how the watching dogs reacted. When they saw a tail wagging to the left, the anxious, nervous direction, the watching dogs got stressed. Their own heart rates climbed. They got tense, alert, uneasy. They picked up the bad vibe instantly. But when they saw a tail wagging to the right, the relaxed, friendly direction, they stayed calm, loose, chill. Let that sink in. Dogs are reading each other's tail direction without a single sound. It's a silent language happening right under our noses, at the dog park, every single day, and we've been totally oblivious. And here's a thought that might be creeping up on you. If dogs are constantly sending these signals, what have you been missing? Think back. That time your dog met your friend and something felt a little off, even though nothing happened. That time at the vet, that new dog on the walk. Your dog was telling you exactly how it felt. You just didn't know the alphabet yet. Quick question for you. Has your dog ever reacted to a person or another dog in a way that surprised you, and now you're wondering what its tail was doing? Tell me below. I read these, and honestly, the stories are the best part. Okay, but now I want to zoom out because there's a bigger picture here that makes all of this even cooler. This left brain, right brain split? It's not just a dog thing, it's an ancient thing. This wiring, good emotions on one side, fear on the other, shows up all over the animal kingdom. In birds, in fish, in animals that haven't shared a common ancestor with dogs in hundreds of millions of years. Which means this isn't some quirky dog habit. It's one of the oldest emotional blueprints in nature, and your dog is running it right there in your living room. But here's the catch, and this is important, so stay with me. You can't just glance at your dog for half a second and diagnose its whole mood. Because real life is messy. The wag has to be strong enough to see the lean. Some dogs have curly tails, stubby tails, or barely any tail at all. And your dog is a full creature. You've got to read the ears, the body, the eyes, the whole thing. The tail direction is one clue, a powerful clue, but not the entire sentence. So don't panic if you can't tell every time. Even the researchers needed slow-motion cameras to measure it precisely. But, and here's the payoff I promised you at the very beginning. Once you start watching for it, you will start catching it. And that changes the whole relationship. Because now, when your dog greets you, and that tail cracks to the right like a whip, you'll know. That's not just a happy dog. That's your dog's brain, its deepest emotional core, pointing straight at you and saying, "You are my safe person." That right-leaning wag when you walk in the door, that's the closest thing to "I love you" a dog can physically produce. And that little left-leaning flick when something feels off, that's your dog trusting you enough to show you it's scared, quietly asking you to step in and handle it. And that's the thing that gets me. Your dog has been talking to you this whole time. Every wag, every direction, every greeting at the door. A running commentary on how it feels about the world and about you. You just finally learned how to listen. So tomorrow, watch that tail. Watch which way it leans when you come home. I think you already know what it's going to tell you. If this changed the way you see your own dog, hit subscribe. Because your dog is doing 100 other things right now that mean way more than you think, and I break down a new one every week. In fact, the way your dog stares at you across the room, there's a reason that'll genuinely surprise you, and that one's playing right now on your screen. Go watch it.